Hello everyone, I'm Charlie Tolhurst and welcome to a new YouTube video today. This is Motormania on the Motormania series of YouTube. Now, today's video, we're going to be talking about a Vaxhaull. Yes, or an Opel, whatever you want to call it outside of the UK or outside of England. We're going to be talking today about the Vaxhaull Mokka, or the Mokka X, or whatever you want to call it. This car, we're going to talk about this car. Because I want to ask the question, is the Vaxhaull Mokka one of the worst cars in Britain? Because for some reason, I know this car gets quite a bad reputation by the press, by the automotive journalists. I'm going to come on here tonight and explain what I think about this car. And if you own one, you know, what they like to drive. Comment down below, guys, if you've owned one of these cars. Because I want to cover the Mokka in very different details tonight, including obviously the latest generation that's currently out now. Now, when did the Vaxhaull Mokka launch? Well, it launched back in 2012, so this car is officially 13 years old. And yes, obviously it sits on a Stellantis platform alongside other models by Vaxhaull as well. And of course is Vaxhaull's kind of crossover MPV slash car. It is technically an MPV. When you look at it, it's a multi-purpose vehicle. Vaxhaull claim that this has got like a crossover MPV stance to it. It mainly looks like a Corsa and Astra with a raised ride height, clearly. I think Vaxhaull wanted to go for this kind of SUV body style, you know, give it extra body cladding, raise up the platform, so you sit higher up, which is one of the advantages of this car. It's you sit higher up in this car compared to other models, which in the range is pretty good. It means that, you know, if you're a newer driver, it means it's a lot easier to see out of the windscreen. But anyway, let's go over the car in general. Now, the Mark 1 featured plenty of, well, I'd say plenty of kit. The Mark 1 was nothing more than just a normal car at the end of the day. Now, it was positioned below the Antara and the Zafira Tourer in the Opel lineup and was available in both front-wheel and four-wheel drive variants. The Mokka name derives from a small round coffee bean from the coffee Arabica variety. So it's actually named after coffee beans. Very interesting. As well, the four-wheel drive option comes with an intelligent all-wheel drive system that maintains 100% drive power front wheels and a system that slips fast start or tight cornering, which helps can send 50% of the power to the rear wheels. Now, by, of course, February 2023, there were claims that 80,000 people ordered one. Over half, Opel announced 500,000 firm orders for a Mokka overall. Claimed that 300,000 Mokkas were delivered to Europe. Now, this car obviously is used in America. It's called the Chevrolet Holden Trax, or the Buick Encore in America as well. And you know, obviously, that's the car. It's the same car in America, just under a different brand name of Chevrolet and obviously Buick. The Chevrolet Trax and the Buick Encore both obviously share the same platform as the Mokka X on the Mokka. The Mokka was very basic. It was a car that never really took off. The original Mokka for me was just not a great car. It was very boring. Like, it kind of was meant to be an SUV that never was an SUV. And Vaxhaull kind of put himself in no man's land with this car. Does it remind you of the days of when the Vaxhaull Frontera was out? Like, how that car kind of had a similar vibe? You know, like it's positioned as an SUV. And obviously, I know Vaxhaull recently have re-released the Frontera. They've launched an all-new one. But, yeah, this car, the original one had a 1.7 litre diesel as well, the first generation. I heard that engine was good for towing. So you could actually tow big loads with it, which was good. Obviously, you know, most buyers would go for a petrol. So there was definitely a good choice. 1.4, of course, turbo petrol in the Mokka. Definitely helped that car. Now, in 2016, 4 years after the original car was launched, the Mokka became known as the Mokka X, following the arrival of the Crossland X and Grandland X into the Vaxhaull lineup, after they both replaced the Zafira and the Meriva MPVs. As a result, Vaxhaull had the X crossover lineup to their list. The Mokka would be the smallest of the three, and of course came a facelift. Though this facelift wasn't a brand new Mokka, it was essentially an update to the existing platform and the existing design. The whole front end was updated. The rear end had some new tail lights on it, and the interior was also given a massive overhaul as well. You had new dashboard. The first time in the Vaxhaull Mokka X came Apple CarPlay and Android Auto as well. Apple CarPlay was also added. Vaxhaull's OnStar system also made its way across as well. I think the Mokka came with that system. I'm not sure it came with the system when it launched, but I know later down the line they did add that system. It helps call the nearest emergency breakdown sensor. It's a great system. Vaxhaull's OnStar is actually really handy if you break down. Can really help you. The Mokka X came with also a couple of engines, only one petrol, I think, and a couple of diesels. There was a 1.4 litre petrol. I think it was a 1.5 litre petrol as well, I think, or 1.5 litre diesel. There was a couple of engine options. There was also a 1.6 litre diesel as well in the Mokka X as well. And yeah, it was definitely, more powerful than its aftermarket, its original version. Obviously a 1.4 litre direct injection turbo petrol engine. It had a controversial start-stop model year. It was introduced in 2016, actually introduced start-stop technology as well. That helped massively with emissions. Obviously cylinder deactivation, as the full Fiesta owners call it. Obviously it was given a new system. A lot of people have criticised the interior for being very bland and uninspiring, particularly the use of black plastic. I know there's a lot of black plastic in this car. Certainly not ideal when you're sitting in there. Having said that though, the dashboard was much better than what it was before, but it still used old analogue dials, which were not much different than the old car, to be honest. But anyway, there was obviously new engine lineup as well. You could get the car with either a manual or an automatic gearbox. I believe there was a 5 or a 6-speed manual available in this car, and there was also the option of an automatic as well. Definitely a manual. I heard the manual gearbox was quite notchy in places, so definitely considering be careful with that if you get a manual. But the car, it wasn't a great car to drive. The Mokka X was definitely not a great car. It was very cumbersome. Many car reviewers said that it lacked overall connection with the driver. It wasn't involving drive. It's a shame because you look at the car, it was very well equipped. You went for like the design nav trim and elite nav. It was all very, very well equipped. Heated seats, gave you sat nav, everything. Gave you some pretty high level tech for a car of its type. So certainly was interesting, to say the least. And lane departure warning, it's also got a decent Euro NCAP result as well. It's pretty good. Now, obviously this car had, a rocky history. It hasn't been well received by many people who owned it as well. Obviously, it was known as the Opel Mokka around the rest of the UK and obviously in Europe as well. Now, the original design lasted until 2021 when Vaxhaull decided to give the car a brand new platform. In August of 2018, they actually showed off the car, a concept car of it, and in 2021 it entered production during the way out of the COVID-19 pandemic. Vaxhaull announced a brand new generation of the Mokka, and it was a well-needed update for the car. I mean, it's still not the best car to this day now, but it is a lot better than what it was before, and it's got considerably newer tech as well. The addition of newer engines, a 1.2 litre turbo petrol now, in line with most models, in fact, that are used in other brands such as Citroën and Vaxhaull and Citroën, Peugeot and Renault now. Of course, a lot of Citroëns and some of the Peugeots, like I know the 3008 as well, the 2008, they use a 1.2 litre turbo petrol. Vaxhaull decided to give it a brand new engine as well, brand new petrol, obviously as well. The diesels were kind of, in a way, only a 1.5 diesel as well. And also as well, it was given an electric version as well. There was also the Mokka E, which came with a 50 kilowatt hour battery, range of 200 miles, and 3 driving modes, Sport, Eco and Normal as well. So yes, it was definitely a welcome change. It has recently been facelifted again at the end of 2024, but the newer version is definitely better to drive. I've heard the automatic gearbox is a lot better now. You can also get it as a manual as well. I definitely think the new car is a step in the right direction for the company, and it's actually not a bad car, the new version. I think the older versions, they just get slated off a lot because they're not great cars. They just lack character. They're not as good as a Nissan Duke. They're not as good as a full Puma or Renault Capture. Which certainly they are the better cars in the class when you want something that's going to be better. But what do I make to the Vauxhall Mokka? This is my honest opinion on this car, guys. And I know they're very popular on the road right now. There's so many of them about. My opinion is this. I think this car is very overrated. I think it's an overrated car. I just think this car, if you buy it, you buy it. And if it goes wrong, it goes wrong. The 1.4 litre turbo petrol is a wet belt engine, I believe. You know, if you have issues with cylinder head gaskets, the timing chain, you know, you may have to get them serviced regularly. So if you own a Vauxhall Mokka, make sure you keep an eye on them as well. And in general, you know, I think it's just a car that has acquired taste for people. Some people like it, some people don't. And I just think the older versions, particularly the Mokka X, just to feel a bit kind of like they don't use their... I mean, they're going to be cheap to buy, you know, because they lose their Vauxhalls lose their value so quickly, particularly these Mokka X's. I've been known for some of these to go really cheap. If you go to second-hand dealerships, they can be very cheap. I've seen some as low as about £7,000 or £8,000, maybe even less than that. Ones that are even low mileage. So just keep an eye on, you know, the V5, on the service history and stuff, because these cars can certainly be ones that can be interesting. But having said that, I think at the end of the day, it's your preferable opinion on this car. What do you make of it? What do you make to the Vauxhall Mokka X? Do you think, on the Vauxhall Mokka in general, do you think this car is certainly one that you'll like? I definitely think the newer version's better. Is it any good, though, against its rivals? That's a question for another video. Thank you so much for watching. Take care, guys. Have a great night. And I'm Charlie Tolhurst, and this is Chaz the Squash YouTube channel. Please like and subscribe to the video, and click on the top left-hand corner with the bell icon. I'll alert you when new videos get uploaded. Take care, everyone, and goodbye.